Okay, so when you're facing a Social Security disability appeal, it can really feel like you're just lost in a fog, can't it? And let's be totally honest, for a lot of people, the biggest storm cloud out there is that question. How on earth am I going to afford a lawyer? That fear, about huge legal fees, it's completely natural when you're already dealing with so much. But here's something that might surprise you, and it's what we're diving into today. The way lawyer fees work for SSD appeals, well, it's actually set up to be affordable. Accessible, even. Our mission here is to clear away that fog, show you how this unique legal world really operates, and hopefully give you a clear path forward without all that extra financial stress.
Yeah, it's really fascinating, actually. This area of law, it operates so differently from, almost anything else you might run into legally. It has these very specific built-in protections that are designed precisely for disabled individuals to help them get legal help without just adding to the financial burden. We're going to walk through exactly how those protections work.
Okay, let's jump right in then. The foundation. So, unlike, let's say, a regular lawsuit or maybe a criminal case where you hear about hourly rates, big retainers, SSD law is different. It operates under strict federal rules about attorney fees. And this wasn't an accident, right? It was set up deliberately.
Exactly, to make sure legal help is actually available to people who are often already facing, serious financial constraints.
And the heart of it is this thing called the contingency fee system. Now, for someone listening, worried sick about paying a lawyer right now, what does contingency fee really mean for them?
It's honestly, it's a total game changer. Put simply, it means your attorney only gets paid if you win your case. So no upfront payments, no hourly bills piling up. You don't need to empty your savings just to get started. It totally removes that initial money barrier, which, let's face it, is often the biggest thing stopping people from even trying.
Wow. So you're saying if someone's already in a tight spot financially, the system just flips the usual legal fee script. The lawyer only gets paid if the client actually wins. That must feel like just a massive weight lifted, right?
Absolutely. And there's another layer of protection, too. Federal maximum fee cap. An attorney can get 25% of your back pay benefits, or $7,200, whichever amount is left.
Okay, break that down, with an example.
Sure. So let's say you win your appeal and you're awarded $20,000 in back pay. Your attorney would get $5,000. That's 25%. But if your back pay was higher, say $30,000, well, 25% of that is $7,500. But the fee is capped at $7,200. So they'd get the $7,200, not the higher percentage amount.
Ah, I see. So the cap ensures the fee stays reasonable, even if the back pay award is pretty substantial.
Exactly. Keeps things fair.
And I heard it gets even easier than that. Something about how the payment is handled?
Yeah, the Social Security Administration actually has this fee withholding program. It's quite efficient. They take the attorney's approved fee directly out of your back pay before they send the rest to you.
Oh, okay. So you don't even have to handle that payment yourself. No writing a big check or anything.
Nope. It's all streamlined. Takes that burden off your shoulders, too.
Okay, but here's a key question I bet people have. Does this fee come out of all the money? Like the future monthly checks, too?
That's a crucial point. And no, absolutely not. These contingency fees apply only to the back pay. That's the lump sum for the time you were waiting for approval. It does not touch your ongoing future monthly benefits. Once you win, those monthly checks are entirely yours. No more legal fees taken out.
That's huge for long-term security.
Definitely secures your financial stability going forward.
So putting it all together, this system seems really beneficial. It aligns the attorney's goals with yours. They want you to win just as much as you do.
Right. Their success is tied directly to yours.
And it gives you this cost predictability, which must be a massive relief when you're already dealing with so much uncertainty.
Absolutely. Knowing the worst case for fees up front is invaluable.
Okay, so we've got the main contingency fee figured out. That's the big piece. But, like any process, there are sometimes smaller costs involved, aren't there? What about other expenses related to the case?
That's a good question. And yes, while the attorney's fee is contingent, there are usually some modest separate costs for case expenses. We're typically talking about things like medical record retrieval fees, maybe $20, maybe up to $100, depending on how many doctors you've seen.
Okay, that doesn't sound too bad.
Right. And then if your case happens to need an expert witness, which isn't always necessary, those fees could be, say, $500 to $1,500. And finally, just small administrative things like postage, copying, maybe minor court filing fees, usually under $200 total for most cases.
That's actually surprisingly manageable compared to what people might fear. But even those smaller amounts, how are they usually handled? Do you have to pay them up front?
Well, here's another helpful part of the system. Many reputable SSD attorneys will actually advance those costs for you.
Advance them, meaning they
Right.
pay them first.
Exactly. They cover those costs initially, and they only ask for reimbursement if you win your case. It comes out of the settlement along with their fee.
Oh, wow.
And sometimes, for really straightforward cases, an attorney might even just absorb those small costs completely. You wouldn't pay anything extra at all.
That really highlights the difference, doesn't it, compared to other legal areas where costs can just spiral unpredictably.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The predictability here is a key part of making it affordable for people with limited resources. It really is a system designed to help.
Okay, this is all great information. So knowing how the fees should work, how do you actually find an attorney who, gets the system and provides really good value? Because it's not just about the lowest price tag, right? It's about getting good help for a fair arrangement.
That's exactly right. It's about value. And our sources point to 7 key strategies. Let's run through them quickly. First, research local bar association referrals. They often have lists of qualified SSD lawyers, and some might even have reduced fee programs.
Okay, good starting point.
Second, look at their experience and success rates. An experienced attorney often knows the system inside out. They're more efficient and, frankly, can improve your odds.
Makes sense. Experience counts.
Third, compare their fee structures and policies. Even with contingency, get it in writing. How do they handle those case expenses we just talked about? Do they advance them? That's a big plus.
Transparency is key.
Fourth, ask your doctors or therapists for recommendations. Healthcare providers often work with SSD claimants and might know attorneys who do a good job and treat clients well. Fifth, use online reviews and professional ratings. Look beyond just the win-loss record. What do people say about communication, about fee transparency, about feeling valued?
Good point. The overall experience matters.
Sixth, look for attorneys offering free initial consultations. This is your chance to interview them without spending a dime. See if you feel comfortable, ask about their fees and experience. And seventh, consider attorneys who specialize in SSD, not just general lawyers. Specialists often have really streamlined processes because this is all they do. That can sometimes mean lower overall costs and better focus.
Okay, those are really practical strategies. Now, while the contingency fee makes things mostly predictable, I can almost hear someone listening thinking, all right, sounds good, but what's the catch? Are there any sort of hidden costs I should watch out for?
That's a really smart question to ask. You absolutely need to be aware. While the system aims for transparency, you still need to be vigilant. For instance, some lawyers might try to charge separate fees for administrative work, like, say, excessive photocopying or preparing detailed summaries beyond normal casework. Others might require you to pay up front for things like expert witnesses or those independent medical exams if they don't normally advance those costs. It's something to clarify.
Right. What else?
Well, you might find charges for what they consider excessive communication, maybe lots and lots of phone calls or emails beyond standard updates. And if your attorney has to travel a significant distance for your hearing, sometimes those travel expenses could be passed on to you.
So it sounds like the absolute best defense against surprises is just asking really direct questions up front.
Exactly. During that initial consultation, ask specifically, what costs are included in the contingency fee? What costs are separate? Under what circumstances would I owe anything beyond the fee and advanced expenses if we win?
And get it in writing.
Absolutely. Insist on a clear, written fee agreement that spells out everything. A reputable attorney will have no problem providing that. They'll want you to be clear on it, too.
Okay. Beyond the standard fee setup, what if someone is in a really difficult financial situation? Are there other safety nets or options available?
Yes, there are. It's worth knowing about these. For extreme hardship, you might look into legal aid organizations. They often offer free or very low-cost services.
But they often have limits, right?
They do. Usually income limits. And they might not take all types of cases, but it's definitely worth checking. There are also pro bono programs where attorneys volunteer their time completely free. Bar associations often have info on those.
Pro bono. Okay.
And while it's less common for the main fee, sometimes you can arrange a payment plan for those smaller case expenses we talked about, like medical records. And specifically for veterans, there are often specialized legal assistance programs available through veterans groups or the VA itself. Worth looking into if that applies to you.
This has been incredibly helpful in demystifying the costs. But, Hiring the lawyer is just step one. To
Hmm.
really get the most value out of that relationship, you, the listener, actually have a role to play too, don't you? It's not just passive.
Oh, absolutely. Your active participation can make a huge difference, not just for the outcome, but for keeping the process efficient, which can relate it back to costs too. First big one, preparation. Before you even meet the attorney, try to gather and organize your medical records, your work history, any denial letters, all that stuff.
Why is that so important?
It saves the attorney time, which is, their main resource. It can potentially reduce those record retrieval costs we mentioned, and it just helps them understand your case faster and better. No key facts missed.
Makes sense. Be prepared. What else?
Second, open communication. Respond promptly when they need information. Show up for appointments. Listen to their advice and follow recommendations. Cooperation helps them build the strongest case possible, efficiently.
Be a good partner in the process.
Exactly. Third, timing matters. File your appeal promptly after you get denied. Don't wait. This preserves your rights, and importantly, it can actually maximize your potential back pay award if you win. Delays can literally cost you money in the end.
Okay, act fast. Good tip.
And finally, be realistic. Talk openly with your attorney about the strengths, yes, but also the weaknesses of your case. A good attorney will give you an honest assessment. Understanding the likelihood of success helps you both strategize effectively and manage your expectations.
So wrapping this all up, the main takeaway seems incredibly positive, actually. The Social Security disability legal system, at its core, is really structured with your financial protection built in. Quality legal help is designed to be accessible.
Absolutely. Understanding that fee structure, knowing how it works, and then actively participating with your lawyer, those are the keys. It empowers you to navigate the system effectively and affordably to get the best possible result.
So, given everything we've unpacked today about how SSD legal fees actually work, think about this. What does this understanding really mean for your peace of mind, for your sense of empowerment, knowing that quality legal support is intentionally designed to be within reach right when you need it the most?